I was speaking to a client the other day who was in a really terrible relationship, and I helped her get out of it about 11 months ago. And as we were talking and going through her healing and preparing her to get back into the world of dating, I said, what have you learned from this experience of working together? I'm going to share what she said below. Hey, you're tuned into David Essel's Daily Video Boost, your exclusive online video community. Remember to take notes. Always take notes. Don't trust your brain, and do one thing today you'd rather not do. So after this long-term relationship, and geez, if I can tell you how many times I've heard this comment, it just blows my mind. And I said to her, of all the things that you've learned in our work together, what do you think would be one of the top 1 or 2 or 3 things? And she said, I should have ended the relationship after 3 months, but I stayed years and years and years knowing that there's a problem. Isn't that interesting? So a lot of times we will see, and I'm going to tell you, about 90% of my clients that I work with as a counselor and a life coach, they will say, at first, I don't know what happened. We dated for 3 years, everything was great, and the day we got married, everything went to hell. Or it's so weird because the first 10 years of this relationship were phenomenal, and then I don't know what happened. And then when we back up and we look at the reality of the circumstance, within the first 30, 60, or 90 days, there were major issues. Now, when I say major issues, I mean the partner had deal killers, the partner wasn't following their word, the partner said that they would do X, but they would do Y or Z, or they said that they would quit smoking or quit drinking or quit doing drugs or quit overspending or whatever it might be, and yet, because we never held them with a boundary and a consequence, meaning if you don't clean this up, this relationship has to end, all of a sudden we get sucked into the vortex of quote-unquote love. We get sucked into the vortex of being in a relationship. We get sucked into the vortex of marriage. And I want you right now, I'm not telling people everyone to divorce right now if you're in a relationship that isn't healthy, but I do want you to look at the fact that a lot of times, 90% of the times, over 30 years in the world of coaching and counseling, I've seen and walk people backwards and they go, oh my gosh, there were so many signs early on in the relationship that I just didn't want to pay attention to. Now, we can do the same thing with bosses. We can do the same thing with friends. We can even do the same thing with family members, where there's been issues going on for years, but we haven't taken care of them. They don't get smaller, they get bigger. And then all of a sudden we get used to the chaos and drama, and it's a really difficult experience to leave it or to change it or to go get help, okay? So many times what we need to do is look at our responsibility. I didn't pay attention to the flags in the beginning, in the middle, and now I'm saying, you know what? This stuff has been going on since the beginning, and more often than not it is. I want you to reflect, to take responsibility for what you weren't able to do years ago, and let's start changing today. It might mean that you, not you and your partner, maybe just you, start working with a counselor or a coach to get your mind wrapped around what you can do to help, if you want to save the relationship, to help it, or what you need to do to start to remove yourself from the toxicity, okay? If I can help you at all, go to talkdavid.com, send me an email, or send me an email right via this YouTube video that you're watching, and we'll get together and rock and roll, okay? Have a beautiful day.